नमो नमः। राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः। गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे, गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे, न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः, मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो। अस्माकं गुरून् प्रणम्य अधुना अद्य दिनस्य पाठम् आरम्भं कुर्मः। ह्यः प्रायः तत्र 10 लोकोक्तयः अस्माभिः दृष्टाः। अद्य इतोपि कानिचन तादृशानि वाक्यानि दृष्ट्वा तस्य विषयम् इतोपि अधिकं ज्ञातुं शक्नुमः। अर्धो घटो घोषमुपैति नूनम्. The first lokokti that we will see today is this: अर्धो घटो घोषमुपैति नूनम्. अर्धः घटः घोषम् उपैति नूनम्. प्रायः स्मरन्ति भवन्तः इति चिन्तयामि। एकं सुभाषितं, संपूर्ण कुंभो न करोति शब्दं, अर्धो घटो घोषमुपैति नूनम्, विद्वान् कुलीनः न करोति गर्वं, गुणैर्विहीना बहुजल्पयन्ति. अस्य अर्थः एवं भवति: यदा कुंभः अथवा घटः पूर्णं भवति तदा तत् शब्दं न करोति, परं यदि जलेन अर्धपूरितः भवति तदा अधिकं शब्दं करोति. यथा यः सम्यक् रूपेण अध्ययनं कृतवान् अस्ति, विद्वान् भवति, सः गर्वं न दर्शयति, गर्वं न करोति अपि. परं गुणैः विहीनः, यस्य गुणाः न्यूनाः सन्ति, सः बहु भाषते, बहु जल्पयन्ति ते तादृशाः जनाः इति. An empty vessel makes much sound. अस्य प्रयोगम् अपि एकं पश्यामः. मूर्खाः कोलाहलं बहु कुर्वन्ति, कर्माणि च अल्पान्येव. मूर्खाः ये तु न विद्वांसः, ते बहु जल्पन्ति एव, केवलम् अधिकं भाषन्ते, परं कर्माणि कार्यं तु न्यूनातिन्यूनमेव कुर्वन्ति. यतः अर्धो घटो घोषमुपैति नूनम्, पूर्णो घटो नैव करोति शब्दम् इति एतादृश प्रयोगान् अस्माभिः कर्तुं शक्यते. So this is a very important lokokti or a popular saying, because most of the times we tend to speak without knowing the full information about something. So there's a saying, right? So half-baked knowledge. So people with half-baked knowledge will try to pounce on us or pounce on anyone, even though they don't know the complete aspect or complete information about what is happening around. So we should be like the Purna Ghata, that is, we should earn and learn so much that we become humble as well. So the vidya that we get should be such that it makes us humble. Vidya dadati vinayam. So we might have studied a lot, we might have earned a lot of degrees or a lot of certificates or whatever, but if that learning process is not making us humble, then it is not the true vidya that we are learning. So always we should strive to get that pure knowledge, the true knowledge, which makes us humble. And as we learn more, we feel that even more is there to learn, and it is a never-ending journey when we say about learning. Tadvat if we have just a small amount of knowledge, then most of the times we will not be in a position to answer everything, or when a question is asked, we will have to probably stop discussing about it and proceed further. So this again cautions or alarms that we should always learn more and ensure that we have that pure knowledge. And it should not be that it is just a half-baked knowledge that we use to just to debate with someone or say something to someone. Hope all of you are able to appreciate this, and also the prayoga in which we can make use of this. Usually these kind of sayings are used to say that a person is really worthy the knowledge or the way he speaks or anything. And we should always be sure, or we should always ensure that we do not end up debating with a murkha, because as we saw in the previous class, murkhasya nasti aushadham. So if anyone is very much stubborn in his own views and unable to make amendments or make changes, then we should probably leave it to him, like, be yourself, and then we should move away. It is also our responsibility to try to tell someone if the other person is receiving what you are about to say or what you're saying. Else, it is better to not spend your energy too much to try to convince the other person. Ardho ghato ghosham upaiti nunam purna kumbhaha shabdam naiva karoti ataha vayam sarvepi purna kumbhavat purna jnaninaha bhavema iti uktva agrima lokoktim prati gacchamaha. Agrimaha vartate alabdha labhaha nalasasya. Labhaha yada vayam karyani kurmaha tada tasya prayojanam kimapi bhavatyeva labhaha bhavati. Alabdha labhaha itukte yat asmabhihi purvam na praptam tadrisham nutanam athava bhavyam yadi labhaha bhavati tattu alabdha labhaha. Param alasasya yaha karyani samyak na karoti karyam kartum bahuvaram chintanam karoti tadrishaha purushaha yadi bhavati chet tasya krite labhaha kadapi na bhavati alabdha labhaha kadapi na bhavati. Alasaha, a lazy person, an idle person, never achieves the things that are difficult to attain. He sakhe uttishta yatasva yataha na bhavati alabdha labhaha alasasya. There's a small typo in this slide. Kripaya khamyatam. It is uttishta. It is the Mahaprana. He sakhe uttishta yatasva yataha na bhavati alabdha labho alasasya. These are coming from Chanakya Sutrani. So Chanakya, as we all know, was one of the greatest scholars who has given so much of text and granthas related to Arthashastra, which is the finance related aspects, governance related aspects, how to rule a country, etc. And who was the minister of Chandragupta. And he has said this in his sutras, Chanakya Sutrani. You can search on the Google. There are a lot of such sutras that he has given, and this is one of that. Alabdha labho nalasasya. There's also a saying in English, which most of you would have heard. If you want to get different results, then you should try differently. If you continue doing the same work in the same way as you used to do, you will also get the results as you used to get and not something beyond it. Ataha, Vayam sarvepi karya kushaliнаः bhavema. We should become very much skilled in whatever tasks that we are doing, whatever work we might be doing. So that is one of the very important aspects that we should always keep in mind. Because if you are lazy, if you are procrastinating on any task, then obviously the result also will be like that. We should be always industrious. We should always be resourceful. Only then we can achieve something that has not been achieved so far. Alabdha labhaha, that is very important. Here, Chanakya is not saying that he will not just get anything, but he also says alabdha labhaha, which is not got earlier. It is something which is new. That means to say there should be constant effort and struggle that should be there, that makes us get something that has not been obtained so far. In the same context, Chanakya also says the following lines in the other sutras following these. Alabdha labhaha nalasasya punascha alasasya labdham api rakshitum na shakyate. If a person is lazy, he will not be able to sustain or take care of whatever he has achieved also. As you all know, बहु सुलभम अस्ति अथवा किंचित वा कष्टम अस्ति किंचित स्थानम प्रति गंतुम. It is easy to reach a certain level or a certain status, but it is more difficult to stay there or to keep up to that level. It is easy to fall off from a height, but to sustain at a particular level, it is very important and it's very difficult. So that is something which Chanakya says. As you know, he is one of the greatest Arthashastrajna, and he says this with experience, and these things needs to be done in this way. Nacha alasasya rakshitam vivardhate. Anyadapi saha vadati yat idanim udaharanartham dhanam iti svikurmah chet api dhanam iti yat alasena rakshitam tattu adhikam na bhavati, tattu na vardhate, na bhrityan preshayati iti anyadapi saha suchayati. So he will not have a command. If he is a lazy person, he will not have a command over the servants also. That means to say, only when you are industrious, only when you keep doing your work, only then people also will listen to you. If you just put things as it is in ease and you don't work on it, then you will not have any say to even tell others to do some task or anything. So if you keep doing the same work in the same way, you always get the results in the same old way. So we should always strive better. We should never be lazy in doing our action, in doing our tasks. Punascha sarvatrapi yadi vayam pashyamaha karmanyeva adhikaraha iti tu sarvada bhavatyeva. So we should always keep doing the work, probably in more innovative ways or in a different ways possible, or in the most efficient way that is possible. And then automatically the results also we will get in the similar way. We will get better results. We will get new results that we haven't seen earlier. Ataha vayam sarvepi alasaha na bhavema karyani samyak kurmaha ityuktva agrima lokoktim prati adhuna gacchamaha. एतदपि चाणक्य सूत्र मध्यात एव स्वीकृतं वर्तते. एकं सूत्रम् अर्थेषणा न व्यसनेषु गण्यते. यथा मया पूर्वमुक्तं, चाणक्यः श्रेष्ठः अर्थशास्त्रज्ञः. इत्युक्ते अर्थविषये, सम्पद्विषये तस्य दृष्टिकोणः एव भिन्नः. एतत् सर्वं किमर्थं कर्तव्यं, कथं कर्तव्यम् इति सः सूचयति अपि. तेषु सूत्रेषु अर्थेषण अर्थस्य इषण इत्यपि स्वीकर्तुं शक्यते। इष धातुः नाम इच्छा, अर्थं प्राप्तव्यं, धनं प्राप्तव्यम् इति यद् इच्छा, या इच्छा वर्तते सा व्यसनेषु न गण्यते, तत्तु न व्यसनम् इति चाणक्यः वदति। व्यसनम नाम habit, rather a bad habit or an addiction. We can take it as also an addiction. What he says is the desire to get wealth, the desire to become rich or desire to get money is not considered as a bad habit. So one of the prayoga that we can think of for this is, hey manushyaha, aya manushyaha, dhanani arjayata, yataha artheshana vyasaneshu na ganyate. We should be very careful when we say this statement, artheshana na vyasaneshu ganyate. Kimartham ityukte, arthasya sampadanam kartum चाणक्यः तत्तु उचितम् एव इति सः वदति। परम् अस्माभिः किं ज्ञातव्यम्, अर्थस्य सम्पादनं यथा कथं वा अथवा यत्किमपि कृत्वा धनस्य अर्जनं कर्तव्यं वा इति चेत् न, तत् सर्वमपि धर्म मोक्ष मार्गेषु एव तत्र सम्पदार्जनम् अस्माभिः कर्तव्यम्। धर्म विहित कार्याणाम् आचरणेन, धर्म विहित मार्गे यदि अस्माकं सम्पादनं भवति तदेव वरं, न तु अन्यथा। कथंचित् अहं धनं प्राप्नोमि, कथंचित् अहम् एतत् करोमि इति तु न वक्तव्यं, तथा न कर्तव्यं। So it's very important to note, always we should keep the boundary of the dharmartha kama moksha, the four principal goals of our life, and any wealth that is obtained in the dharma marga is always valid. So that is something we should always think, and we shouldn't think that, oh, Chanakya has said, so gaining wealth is not a bad habit or an addiction, so let me get wealth in however way it is possible. So there's another important aspect to it. When we say dharma margena tatra dhanarjanam kartavyam, punascha dharmartham eva tasya viniyogah api kartavyah. So whatever we gain, it should be spent on the right causes, for the right purpose. So there's one saying which comes to my mind. So when your income grows or when your income increases, we shouldn't better our standard of living, but we should improve our standard of giving. So we should give to the satpatras, whoever is the right person, whoever is the right beneficiary for that. So we should give our money. Also, another subhashitam which comes to my mind is the vittasya trini gatayaha bhavanti. So the wealth can take part or can be seen in three ways, how it can be spent or what will happen to the wealth. So one is danam, one we should give it to others for the right people, danam. Bhogaha, the second way in which the wealth can be utilized. Bhogaha is for your own use, you can buy something that you require, etc. Danam bhogo nashaha, the other way what will happen or what can happen to the wealth is the destruction, nashaha. Iti trini gatayo bhavanti vittasya, yona dadati na bhunkte tasya tritiya gatir bhavati. So artheshana na vyasaneshu ganyate iti asmabhi drishtam, apicha पूर्वस्मिन् तत्र सूत्रे चाणक्यः एवमपि वदति, अतितृष्णा विनाशाय इति। अस्माभिः अपि ह्यः दृष्टम्, अतितृष्णा विनाशाय। तत्र धनस्य अर्जनं कर्तव्यं, तदर्थम् अस्माभिः कार्यं तु कर्तव्यं, परं केवलं धनार्जनमेव मम जीवनम् इति तु अस्माभिः न कर्तव्यम् अतः अतितृष्णा विनाशाय एतत् सर्वं मनसि निधाय यदि वयं वदामः धर्ममार्गे धनस्य अर्जनं कृत्वा धर्मार्थं तस्य विनियोगं यदि कुर्मः तदेव वरम् इति ज्ञातुं शक्यते। अपि च अस्माकं ऋषयः एतदपि वदन्ति अजरामरवत् प्राज्ञः विद्याम् अर्थं च साधयेत् गृहीत इव केशेषु मृत्युना धर्ममाचरेत् इति। तत्र जरा नास्ति मृत्युः नास्ति इति कृत्वा धनस्य अर्जनं विद्यायाः अर्जनं तु अस्माभिः कर्तव्यम्। परम् अद्यैव मृत्युः भवति, अद्यैव सः यमधर्मराजः अस्माकं शिरः गृह्णाति इति कृत्वा धर्मस्य आचरणम् अस्माभिः कर्तव्यम् इति। So all these thoughts lead to the same conclusion that though we earn anything, though we get or obtain the wealth, we should be always watchful of our deeds, what all things that we are doing, and all those should be done in the right way, in the dharma marga. Api cha anyadapi asti subhashitam sarve gunaha kanchanamashayante iti. So when we say about money, lot of subhashitakaras, even Bhartrhari, and even in various places in Panchatantra or Hitopadesha, we see a lot of other subhashitas that come which say about how to obtain wealth, and if you obtain wealth, what all the things that can happen, etc. Those things are said. But always the things that we should keep in mind is it should be coming from the right source. It should be coming from the dharma marga, and it should be also utilized for the dharma. So that is something which we should always keep in mind whenever we earn. Another one subhashitam, I'll just tell that and conclude this lokokti, and we will proceed further. Kshanashaha kanashashchaiva vidyam artham cha sadhayet kshanattyage kuto vidya kanattyage kuto dhanam. So grain by grain, we should safeguard the wealth. Kshanashaha is second by second, we should earn or we should learn the vidya, vidyam sadhayet. Kanashaha, we should artham sadhayet. Kshanattyage, if you lose a second, how can you get that knowledge? And if you lose a grain, then how can you get the money? So the way we should think is we should never waste anything. We should always keep a tab on how our spending is also going, and we shouldn't simply waste anything. So these are some of the things that our ancestors have given, and a lot of traditional and cultural values that we have associated with money especially. So dharmartha kama mokshaha are the four pillars or the four principal goals of our life, and whatever we do should be in that dimension, in that boundary of dharma and moksha. Through dharma, we should gain the artha and kama, and the way we use it should lead us to the path of the moksha. That way will be a beautiful life that we will be able to lead. Iti uktva agre gacchamaha. Agrima lokoktihi asti anuragastu phalena suchyate. Anuragaha nama pritihi phalena athava अन्यदपि अत्र पाठभेदः विद्यते हितेन इति सूच्यते. कथम् अस्माकं वर्तनं भवति तद् दृष्ट्वा अस्माकं अन्य पुरुषस्य अथवा अन्य व्यक्तेः विषये का भावना विद्यते इति ज्ञातुं शक्यते. Actions speak of the love in the heart. तव कार्यं विधास्यामि न वा इति मम प्रेम एव वदिष्यति यतः अनुरागस्तु फलेन सूच्यते इति एकं प्रयोगम् अस्माभिः कर्तुं शक्यते. तन्नाम, whenever we feel kind of a respect or kind of a love towards someone, whatever they ask for, we will do it without hesitation, without thinking again and again. So that is, it is something which is very natural, and how we should express our feelings is also very important. Affection or love has to be exhibited through some action. The emotions need to be expressed, and only then the other person can understand our feeling towards them. There can be a lot of different types of emotions that we associate ourselves with some other person. So if we like a person, then we do anything for that person. We go even beyond our limits to help or to take care of that person. But if we dislike someone, then whatever they ask for, we tend to ignore. We tend to ignore the requests, or we never think about helping them out, etc. So emotions need to be expressed at the right time, in the right way. तदेव एतदपि तत्र चाणक्येन एव उक्तं वर्तते, अनुरागस्तु फलेन सूच्यते. You can always imagine, though we may have a lot of respect towards someone, a lot of love towards someone, a lot of affection towards someone, most of the times we fail to express those emotions. We think, oh, if I say something, suppose say, we'll consider a case, यदा कोऽपि किञ्चित् कार्यं सम्यक् न करोति अथवा सम्यक् रूपेण सः न आचरति, तस्मिन् समये यदि वयं वदामः, सः अस्माकं सुहृदेव, अस्माकं मित्रम् इति स्वीकुर्मः. So we have good affection towards our friends. We will not stop him sometimes from doing a bad deed. We may think, oh, if I say, or maybe he will not like it, and hence I will not say it. But that should not be the case. We should always think of something good for the others. So we should stop anyone whom we care to not do anything that is wrong. So that can be expressed in the right way. So it is not that if you want to say something, you should tell it in the harsh way only, but you can also tell it in a polite way, so that the other person can understand what is the concern, or what is the thinking that you have, and why you are trying to help him out. Anuragastu phalena suchyate always gives that information, or gives that indication that it is not that if you are just silent about something, it probably doesn't manifest the feeling that you have towards the other person. So that needs to be said, that needs to be expressed in the right way. And also, actions speak louder than the voice. This is another saying that you would have heard. It is in the other way, that if anuragaha is not there, and if there is a kopa or the krodha, you don't have to express it through words, but your actions will speak louder than that. So in that way, if you see, any emotion for that matter will always have some action associated with it, and that is what will try to manifest your feeling or your emotion towards the other person. So keep this in mind and try to express as and when possible, at the right time and in the right way. If you want to appreciate someone, appreciate. Do not wait for a right opportunity, or wait for few days more, let me appreciate next, or let me congratulate someone later, etc. So when that thought comes, it is like the gratitude that you have towards someone. It's like a present which is wrapped and kept, but you have not given that gift to the other person. So that is something which we should always think, we should always remember. Once it is said, it's done. So we should always express our feelings. Anuragastu phalena suchyate. Agre gachamaha. Agrima lokoktihi asti atibharaha purusham avasadayati. Punaha चाणक्यः एव वदति, यदि पश्यामः पूर्वाणि सूत्राणि अपि, तत्र चिन्तनक्रमः samanam eva asti iti gyatum shakyate. Artheshana vyasaneshu na ganyate atitrishna vinashaya atibharaha purusham avasadayati. So ati means more. Ati sarvatra varjayet iti maya purvam api uktam. We should always have a watch on what things we are doing, how we are doing the things. Atibharaha purusham avasadayati. Avasadayati is basically to tire out a man or make him break. A heavy burden or a heavy load will tire out the man. Ekanimisham. प्रयोगः एवं भवति. शक्तिम् अतिक्रम्य कृतः परिश्रमः रोगं जनयति. यतः अतिभारः पुरुषम् अवसादयति. यदा वयं कार्यं कुर्मः अथवा अन्येभ्यः किमपि कार्यं दद्मः तदा एतत्तु अवश्यम् अस्माकं मनसि भवितव्यम्. यदि एतत् कार्यं यत् मया सूच्यते तद् अन्येन कर्तुं शक्यते वा, यदि अधिकम् अस्ति वा कार्यम् अथवा न्यूनम् अस्ति वा, एतादृश परिगणना भवितव्यः. नो चेत् किं भवति, अधिकं कार्यं भवति चेत् यः कोऽपि तत् कार्यं करोति पूर्णरूपेण कर्तुं प्रायः न शक्यते. यदि करोत्यपि तर्हि तत्तु क्लेशाय एव भवति, न तु तस्य विषये, यः कार्यं करोति तस्य विषये. यतः अतिभारः पुरुषम् अवसादयति. One should never overstrain himself or his subordinates. Whenever any work is assigned, it should be such that the doer is capable of doing it without too much of struggle. As such, work can deplete the energy and thereby hampering the well-being of the individual. Atra rogam janayati iti vakyam asmabhihi drishtam. Rogaha means it may not be directly a particular disease or something. Even the word disease also, right? Dis-ease. It is something which will hamper the well-being of the person. And this can also refer to the samsara, if we try to extend this perspective. Too much of burden, stress, anxiety, or tension will always result in one or the other kind of uneasiness or disease in men. Tadartham atibharaha na kartavyaha, atibharaha karyaha na kartavyaha. Tatrapi niyamaha bhavet. Etadasha karyani etasmin samaye kartavyam iti chet. We should plan out the activity so that we don't burn out ourselves and we do that work. Apicha atrapi suchayami. It is not that we should never stretch our limits. We should never, it's not that we shouldn't do that way. We shouldn't extend or we shouldn't go extra mile. But whenever we do so, we should be conscious enough that it is not ruining our own self. Tadeva Chanakyaha vadati atibharaha purusham avasadayati. So whenever we do any work, we need to keep in mind how much time we should dedicate for that work, and then a part of the time should also be used to rejuvenate, probably through meditation, yoga, or any of the right means. We should take off the stress that we might have undergone through whenever we work or whenever we are doing any task. In that way, it will be a balanced state of our mind as well, and for the body also. For any physical activity, we require energy. And if we overdo anything, as we know, even for the machines or for any of the things, there is a wear and tear that happens. So these are the things that comes to mind when we think about this quote, Atibharaha purusham avasadayati. Ataha samyak rupena chintanam kritva yat uchitam tadeva asmabhihi kartavyam itukva agresaramaha. Agrima lokoktihi asti agnidahadapi vishishtam vakparushyam. A beautiful saying indeed, which most of us would have experienced in our lives. A piercing word scorches more than the scorching of the fire. Tasya vak shalyena piditaha saha murchitaha abhut yataha agnidahadapi vishishtam vak parushyam. Agnihi dahati, we all know the fire will burn. But if there is a wound because of the fire, it probably gets healed in the course of time. Maybe if it is a small wound, it may take 1 week to 2 weeks. If it is beyond that, it may take, say, a few months or few years or probably a decade. Okay, after 10 years at least, the wound gets healed if it is through burning. But if a close person, if near and dear ones of us, if they say something through words, vak parushyam, parusha vacha yadi vadati, tarhi ajivanam, it will never heal. Ajivanam tattu tatha bhavatyeva. It will not heal till the end of our life. It always keeps hitting us. It will always keep reminding about that incident that happened, and always it takes that peace of mind from us. So vak parushyam is something which is very difficult to digest. Vak shalyena, vak nama speech, shalyam nama arrow. So the arrows, which are like the words which are like the arrows, if they hit us, they will always keep us in that state. That wound that is caused because of the vak will never get healed. This is very important to know, that the physical wound will heal with time, but the wound which is caused due to the harsh words will never heal. The dvesha bhava about the other person who would have spoken will always stay with us, and always we will develop some of the asuri gunas. How to combat that, like how to give back to that person, what I should do. So these are the thoughts that comes to our mind because we are hit by that harsh word, which is like an arrow. So what we should think here is, once we speak something, once spoken, the words are not ours. It's already in the air. It has come out. But later we'll have to face the consequences. Many a times we repent for having spoken something wrong or something harsh to someone, to a person who is near and dear to us. Out of anger or out of anxiety, we tend to lose control over our tongue. And that should not be the case. We need to be silent when we are angry. That doesn't mean we shouldn't scold someone for doing something wrong. But it is the way we put it across is something that really matters. In our entire tradition, how we should speak is something that has been told by so many rishis in various different ways. There's another subhashita which says, Priya vakya pradhanena sarve tushyanti jantavaha tasmat tadeva vaktavyam vachane ka daridrata. What is the poverty in words? When every living being likes to hear good words. Priya vakya pradhanena sarve tushyanti. Everyone will become happy when we listen to good words. Then why don't we all practice that? So that is a Subhashitakara, he says. Not just Subhashitas, but the Vedas also say this. The rishis go down to God and they ask for this. They ask for this blessing. Jihva me madhumattama karna abhyam bhuri vishruvam is what they say. Jihva me madhumattama. Let the nectar be there on our tongues. That means to say, let us always speak good. Let us always speak something beautiful. And let us not indulge in speaking something harsh or anything like that. So this is something which we should always remember. So it is very easy to speak a word, but that how it will impact on the other person is very important. It may ruin the other person's entire life. It can come as an arrow back to you one or the other day later. And then again, you will also have to face the same situation. So another subhashita which gives the same meaning, that agni dahadapi vishishtam vakparushyam tadvadeva anyadapi subhashitam asti samrohati agnina dagdham vanam parashuna hatam api. So a forest can grow back even if there is a forest fire. If the trees are destroyed, again the forest will grow back. Or even if someone takes an axe and cuts off some of the wood, it grows back eventually. Param vacha duruktam bibhatsam na samrohati vakshatam. But the wound that is created because of the vakshatam, vacha duruktam, if something has been spoken wrongly, bibhatsam, or something which is harsh, na samrohati, it can never heal itself. So with that, we should always be very careful in the way we speak, what we say to someone else. We should never hurt anyone through our harsh words. So this is always an alarming one. It's always a cautioning one, that we should take care of our words. We should think before we speak. Ataha vayam sarvepi uttamaha bhavema asmakam jihvam madhye madhu eva sthapayamaha ityukte madhurani tatra vachamsi vadamaha iti vadami. Another subhashita that just came into my mind is this. The way we speak also is very important. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat satyam apriyam. Tathacha na andritam bruyat, esha dharma sanatanaha. How is this dharma? What is this dharma? If you ask a question, it says satyam bruyat, you should speak the truth. Priyam bruyat, also you should speak something good. Tathacha, but satyam apriyam na bruyat. Even though the truth is a bit harsh, you shouldn't speak it directly. That is what it means. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't speak about it at all. And when I say this, it also says tathacha na andritam bruyat. It is not that to please someone you should speak or you should tell lies. Esha dharma sanatanaha. So this is the sanatana dharma. So keeping that in mind, agnidaha-dapi vishishtam vakparushyam ataha yatha shakti vayam asmakam vachaha upayogam samyak kurmaha ityuktva agrima lokoktam prati gacchamaha. Aprapyam nama na ihasti nehasti dhirasya vyavasayinaha. Aprapyam nama kimapi nasti iti punaha atrapi Chanakyaha eva vadati. Aprapyam nama, that which cannot be obtained. There is nothing in this world which is unobtainable for a person who is courageous and industrious. Dhirasya krite, yaha dhiraha asti, who is very strong, bold and courageous, for him. And vyavasayinaha, one who is always involved in doing work, one who is always acting on his toes. Tadrisha purushasya krite aprapyam iti kimapi nasti. Now you can relate back this to the previous lokokti that we said, alabdha labhaha nalasasya. It is kind of the contrast of that, the reverse of that. That is, there is nothing that is unobtainable from by a person who is really working hard and in an industrious way. Swarajya praptyartham yodhaha nirantaram yatate sma avasane sacha uddesham prapnot yataha aprapyam nama nehasti dhirasya vyavasayinaha. So anything that is, the sky is the limit basically. Anything that you desire can be obtained if you have that courage. That is, from heart, you shouldn't be afraid of doing something, taking up some challenges. Apicha samayasya sadupayogam asmabhi kartavyam. Every second counts and we shouldn't waste any of our time. Gatah kalaha na punarayati. The time that has gone will never come back. So we shouldn't waste our time. And when we do our work, with keeping all these things in mind, with courage, facing the challenges without any looking back, or without any um, uh, fear, that is something which will ensure that we will achieve whatever is there, and whatever, and there is no limit for that. Aprapyam nama nehasti dhirasya vyavasayinah. This reminds me of the quote which I read somewhere. Probably this was related to the defense, or basically for the army. They say, when it gets tough, the tougher gets going. Yada klishtam iti vayam chintayamaha, tada klishtatara janaha tatra karyam kartum shaknuvanti. So for an industrious and courageous man, nothing is impossible. Impossible is a word that exists in the dictionary of fools, is what Napoleon says. And also some other place which I read is, the word itself says, I am possible, I am possible. There's nothing called impossible. So where there's a will, there is a way. So this is something which we should think, and we should strive towards it. So there is one Subhashita which probably relates to the same. It says, na daivam iti sanchintya tyajet udyogam atmanaha. Whatever work we are doing, we should do it. Na daivam, it is because of the luck, it is because of the grace of the God, or something like that. We shouldn't think in that way, and we should leave the task that we are doing. Always, this again relates back to karmanyevadhikaraha. We should always involve in doing the right actions. Anudyamena tailani tilebhyaha naptum arhati. So how is the oil generated? From the tila. Tila is basically the til. How is the oil obtained? Only when you crush it, only when you put some energy and effort on it, only then the oil is extracted out of the seeds. So that is how we should always be. It is not that the devata athava, the luck will not give you everything. So we need to do our tasks, we need to do our work to obtain what we need. So that is what this lokokti tells us. Aprapyam na prapyam nama, one, it cannot be achieved or obtained. Nama na ihasti, iha nama asmin jagati nasti dhirasya krite punashcha vyavasayinashcha krite. So let us all be industrious, let us all be courageous in whatever tasks that we do, and let us achieve whatever we dream about, or whatever is not yet achieved. Agre saramaha. Agrimaha asti naikam chakram paribhramati na ekam chakram paribhramati. Eka chakram rathaha na gacchati ityapi vaktum shakyate. A car does not move with only one wheel. So it requires two wheels for its movement. Prayoga evam bhavati saha ekaki yodhum na prabhavati yataha naikam chakram paribhramati. Always, this is very important, there is no one who can do anything without the support of others. Anyadapi subhashitam asti yat tadeva suchayati asahayaha samarthopi, samarthaha api asahayaha tejasvi kim karishyati nirvate jwalite vanhihi swayameva prashamati is a subhashitam. Tanmadhye subhashitakaaraha vadati yatha vanhihi yatha agnihi vayoho sahayam vina nirvate jwalite vanhihi swayam prashamati. We all know, for the fire to exist, we require oxygen. The air is needed. If air is not there, then even the fire cannot exist. So tadvat, even if a person is capable, samarthaha api, he is great in his own work, etc. Tejasvi api asti, param asahayaha, without the support of the society, of others, kim kartum shakyate, kimapi kartum na shakyate, is what the Subhashita says. In that way, if you see, For anything to be done, there is a requirement, or there is someone who is needed. Even for us to go in the right path, we require a guru. In any way you see, ekam chakram na paribhramati. Only one wheeled cart cannot move. So it requires two wheels. So this also reminds of one of the prasanga that comes in Ekachakra, that is in Mahabharata, when the Pandavas were there in Ekachakrapura. There was a demon called Bakasura Sita, and the rule of that place was every day one person from the family should take a cart full of food to Bakasura along with himself. So he was a Purushada. Basically, he used to eat the Purusha. So Tadrishaha Prasangha Asita. When Kunti heard about the story, the neighbors were crying because they were a family of 4 people, husband, wife, and then 2 children, one daughter and one son. And they will say, whom to send today? So Mahad apatitam kim adya kartum shakyate asmabhihi. Yadi aham gacchami iti saha patihi vadati, tada patni vadati naiva naiva bhavan na gacchatu aham gacchami. Evam tesha madhye eva charcha bhavati. Putraha vadati naiva naiva aham gacchami. Putri vadati aham gacchami iti. Tada saha purusha vadati ekachakram ratham na gacchati kim kartum shakyate. How can we do? Mahad apatitam iti saha sucheti. Then Kunti comes and she says that, okay, I will send one of my sons, and the rest of the story, you know. So there also this quote comes, Ekachakram ratham na gacchati, naikam chakram paribhramati. So that is something which we should keep in mind. It signifies various aspects as well. Even in samsara, it is for a grihastha, it is not something that only the male does for the family, but there is a lot of things that even the wife does for the family. Naikam chakram paribhramati. It is just the division of various tasks that both of them do. And we can never say, okay, only one person is doing something for the family, but it will be always because of all the people in that family. So we shouldn't have that arrogance that, oh, I'm the only person who is earning, and only because of me everything is earning. So because naikam chakram paribhramati. So it is always the combined effort of everyone who are associated with us will result for whatever we are doing and the outcomes of our actions. That is the meaning of this lokokti, naikam chakram paribhramati. Ekaki kimapi kartum na shakyate, sahayah tu atyavashyakaha. Militva yadi sarvepi karyani kurmaha, tada eva tad varam bhavati. Apicha asmin yuge kaliyuge evampi asti sanghe shaktihi kalau yuge iti uktirasti jeshtaha vadanti. Sanghe eva shaktihi bhavati. So if you ask a question, who invented telephone, or say, for example, a television, you may get one answer. So Alexander Graham Bell or whatever, whoever it was, you get one single person's as a name who invented something. If we consider even our recent past, but today, if you ask a question, who invented smartphone, or who invented maybe the latest processor of any computer, you don't have one answer, but you have an answer as a company, a set of people, a group of people who do it. Evam kalau yuge asmin yuge sanghe eva shaktihi ekaha eva kimapi karoti iti chet tat prayaha na bhavati. Naikam chakram paribhramati. Agre saramaha. Agrima lokoktirasti natapta loham lohena sandhiyate na atapta loham lohena sandhiyate. A piece of iron cannot be joined without heating. Ubhayanuragaha sambandha nidanam yataha natapta loham lohena sandhiyate. Lohaha nama ayaha, athava basically the iron or any metal for that matter. If you want to join two metals, basically of the same kind or of different or whatever, the heat is very important. Only when it is heated, you will be able to make a joint. If you see the process of welding, it is the same thing. It generates that heat and it fuses the two pieces of the metal. Atapta loham. Atapta. Taptam nama, one which is heated. Ataptam, not heated. Atapta loham, lohena na sandhiyate. We cannot join two pieces of the metal without heating. This gives more perspectives also in different aspects. As we have seen the prayoga, ubhayanuragaha sambandha nidanam yataha natapta loham lohena sandhiyate. So whenever we have some feeling towards others, there should be a reciprocating feeling also from the other person. Only then the bond is strong. If we have feeling towards someone, but they do not have a similar feeling towards you, then obviously whatever you say will not actually happen, or they will not respect your words. They will not respect whatever you say. So it is always a give and take policy, right? So if I give respect towards you, you give the respect towards me, then that bond is strong. That is why it says natapta loham nama ubhayathapi. It should be there in both directions. So ubhayanuragaha, the feeling that you have and the other person, that is what is the representative of that bondage or of that relationship. Sambandha nidanam. This is also true only when there is some common interest among people. They can be there together. They can think, they can work, they can discuss on some topic. So there should be something which is common. So for the loha, the heat is the common thing that joins them. That way, there should be something which is common, which should join or which should make the set of people work together. Natapta loham lohena sandhiyate. So that is the context in which we can use this lokokti. Always, even to shape a metal, the heat is required. Heat, if you see in that terms, it is the direct heat. In the same way, if you see internally, it is the warmth that we have. Only when we have warm feelings towards others and the similar is shown from the other person, only then there will be a stronger bond. So that is what we can think of this when we listen to this lokokti. Natapta loham lohena sandhiyate. Agrima lokoktim prati gacchamaha. Nasti agnehe daurbalyam. Nastyagner daurbalyam. Iti etadapi Chanakya Sutrameva. Agnehe daurbalyam nasti. You cannot call the fire as weak. Durbalasya bhavaha daurbalyam. So balam nama strength, durbalaha nama weak. Daurbalyam is the state of being weak. And dushtaha ayam atimruduhu iti kutaha yataha nastyagnehe daurbalyam iti prayogam asmabhi drashtum shakyate. If a person is wicked, he is a bad person, then how can he be compassionate? How can he be so soft or something? If you ask that question, then definitely the underlying feeling or the thinking or the motivation that the other person may have is what we'll have to think about. Atimruduhu katham bhavati yataha agnehe daurbalyam nasti. Tadvat, even the wicked person, if he is showing some compassion or something, then something else he is planning is what we can understand. So that is the meaning of this prayoga. Agnihi yadyapi laghu bhavati tathapi shaktihi mahan asti. You can think of this, even just a spark of the fire is sufficient to light up or to burn a big stack of hay or big stack of materials. So we shouldn't ignore even if it is a small spark or a small fire. So that is something which we should always remember. And also we may think Okay, we don't know about fire. If we don't know about fire, it cannot do anything, right? That is not the right way, because Acharya Shankaracharya says in his one of his commentaries, Vastu Shaktihi Buddhim Napekshate. So the inherent capacity of a particular thing doesn't require our understanding, our knowledge about it to manifest it. So Agni, the basic nature of Agni is to generate the tapa or generate heat. So that is the inherent quality of Agni, and that will exist whether we know it, we don't know it, etc. Even if we go and touch the fire, we feel that heat. We cannot say, I did not know about that. If I touch this fire, it will burn me or it will hurt me, right? So Agnehe Daurbalyam Nasti means that it has infinite energy in it, even though if it is a small spark. So another Subhashita which says a similar in the similar line is Agnishesham, Rinashesham, Shatrushesham Tathaivacha Punaf Punaha Pravardheta Tasmat Shesham Na Karayet. The three Sheshas it speaks about: Agni Shesha, Agni, the residue of the fire, okay, or Runa Shesha. Runa is basically the loan, whatever loan that we take, that Shesha, and if there is something that is there, remaining part of our loan, and then Shatru Shesham, the remaining, if there is someone from our enemy side, these three will automatically grow over time. So Agni also grows, the loan, the interest on the loan that we have taken also grows, and the Vairatva, the enmity, also grows. So Tasmata Shesham Na Karayet. So we should, if we are trying to destroy the fire at some place, we should destroy it. We should put water or whatever we do, and we should ensure that the fire is not there at all. Apicha Tadvadeva, the loan that we have taken, we should return it, or we should pay back the loan completely, including all the interest, and nothing should be left. And then similarly for the Shatru Shesha also, in wars basically, because they will have that grit against the other person, and they will come back with more force and other things. So that Tasmata Shesham Na Karayet iti Anyat Subhashitam Vartate. A beautiful example for the loan or anything, wherever there is a residual of money, is something which you can always remember. So the interest rates that you pay on the credit card bills or anything, it's a practical example. Though we may, though the companies say, okay, you can pay only the minimum amount that is sufficient, but the interest keeps on adding. And at the end of the tenure, when you see, you will see for an object or for something that you have purchased for say 1,000 rupees, you actually end up paying more than twice of its amount. So that way, the Rinashesha is something that is always will come and haunt you back. So previously, ancestors were always saying that we shouldn't take this loan. Rinam na kartavyam iti. So when Rina comes, the other Siddhanta or other Darshana, the Charvaka Darshana, which we usually call, they say Rinam Kritvapi Ghritam Pibet. Even if you take a loan, it's okay, but be happy for today. So that is the other Darshana which is there. That is called Charvaka Darshana. That is, live for just this present. Don't worry about what will happen in the future, what happened in the past, etc. So that is a different Darshana which was there in this Bharata Bhumi. And a lot of debates are there across various darshanas as well, like what is right, what is wrong, etc. And but most of the ancestors say that we shouldn't take loan. We should be always be aware of the fire, its energy. We can use it. So if we have some energy, if we know how to control it or how to use it in the right way, we can use it to our benefit. Else, we will not have any way to stop it, because fire is used to cook, and the same fire, if it is big, it becomes a forest fire. We will not be able to even control it. So Agnehe Daurbalyam Nasti, it can destroy the entire forest. through a forest fire. So we should be very careful about Agni. Agnehe daurbalyam nasti. So etavat adya pashyamaha. I hope you all enjoyed today's class, and a lot of lokoktis are very much relevant to our day-to-day life as well. And this will, in a way, help us understand what is the right things to do at the right time and how we should lead our life. With that, we shall conclude today's class. I shall now open up for the question and answers. If you have any questions, please, you can put it in the Q&A chat box, or you can raise your hands. I'll give opportunity for few students to speak. And anantaram adya kakshayaha samapanam kartum shaknumaha. If you have any specific questions, anything you want to ask or say or add a few points, please do raise your hands and you can speak. So I'm seeing in the Q&A chat box. Yes, rogam means also disease. That is true. And also it is uneasiness also. Roga, it can be seen in multiple ways, what it means. And another example, one more person has, Krishnamurti Mahodaya has given, Jatamatram na yaha shatruhu vyadhim cha prashamam nayet mahabalopi tenaiva vruddhim prapya sa hanyate. So this is for the Shatru Shesha, which I gave an example of the another Subhashita. Another Subhashita goes like this. So that's also a beautiful one. Jatamatram na yaha shatruhu shatrum vyadhim cha prashamam nayet. So shatrum vyadhim cha prashamam nayet. One who doesn't control the shatru and the vyadhi, then mahabalopi tenaiva vruddhim prapya sahanyate. So the shatru and the vyadhi will come back with great force and will kill the person who is not controlled it or who has not destroyed it, basically. Very good. Thanks for the Subhashitam. Uttamamasti. Okay, any other questions? Please feel free to ask. Okay. Yes, the lectures will be uploaded. The videos will be uploaded. There might be a delay in uploading yesterday's one. So I think by today, everything will be up to date and it will be uploaded onto the course page. So you may please refer to the videos, the recording of the videos, and also the slides. We'll be sharing it. Okay, one another question. Tavakaryam vidhasyami na veti. Can you explain that? So this is the lokokti for, or the example, the prayoga for the lokokti, anuragena. So basically, this is for Kshamanam. Anuragastu phalena suchyate for that. So basically, tavakaryam karominava iti vidhasyami means I will do it or not, I will implement your work or not. That is the meaning of it. Tavakaryam vidhasyami nava iti karyam drishtva eva vadatu yataha anuragaha phalena suchyate. So that means to say, if I am affectionate towards someone, if we have that respect or the prema bhava, then we will do that work anytime. We will do that. So that is the meaning of that prayoga. Tavakaryam vidhasyami nava iti. Okay. Uttamam. Goenka Mahodaya, if you have any question.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Ram. Mahodaya, one class already happened previously or not? Because I started from 30th slok.
Yeah, correct. It happened yesterday. We covered around 10 lokoktis yesterday, and today also we have covered 10. So the videos will be uploaded today, so you can definitely watch them.
So nice of you. Thank you.
Sure. Dhanyawad. Ram. So as you all know, this is a short course of 5 days. So we'll be covering close to around maybe 10 lokoktis per day. That is the plan. Let us see how it goes. Again, Ishwarecha Baliyasi. Jyotilakshmi Bhagini, any question?
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
बहु कालानन्तरं भवतः पाठनं श्रुत्वा बहु सन्तोषः अभवत् महोदय। अनन्तरं
धन्यवादाः।
अद्यतनकक्षायाम् आसीत् नूनम् इति। नूनम् इत्युक्ते नूनं कीदृशः शब्दः इति?
कुत्र कस्मिन् लोकोक्तिमध्ये अस्ति?
प्रथमे अस्ति इति चिन्तयामि।
अस्तु मया उक्तं तत्र सुभाषितम् उक्तम् अर्थो घटो घोषमुपैति नूनं। नूनं नाम तत्र डेफिनेटली that is the meaning you can understand from the word नूनं. Definitely it makes that sound तथा।
किमर्थम् इत्युक्ते न्यूनम् इति अपि अस्ति।
न्यूनं means it is less. Nyunam is less, but nunam means here the word is of course it makes more sound. Definitely it makes more sound, something like that. That is the meaning of nunam.
अस्तु महोदय,
अवश्यम् इति अर्थः तथा स्वीकर्तुं शक्यते।
अस्तु महोदय, धन्यवादः।
धन्यवादाः। उत्तमं। चिन्तयामि सम्यक् सर्वेपि ज्ञातवन्तः अद्यतनस्य पाठस्य विषये। महान् प्रमोदः। पुनः श्वः मिलामः। We will meet again tomorrow. धन्यवादाः for your patience hearing and participating in the class. राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः। नमो नमः।